Okay, welcome back to turn 4 of the Antietam Glory 3 series. This is the 160th anniversary playthrough of the full Battle of Antietam. And here we are at turn 4, which has us coming back right after Jackson had recovered his troops a bit, and we're able to counterattack a little bit on Hooker's advance. Giving you a full view of the map right now. And you can see most of the action is fighting up here. This is where Jackson is counterattacked against Hooker over here. Hooker has been pushed back. There's several units that are disordered and pushed back over here. We have Mansfield's troops coming up here on Hooker's left side to try to tack down through towards the sunken road here. And also provide support, in that general area there. So we've got a few things going on with this turn. First and foremost, with activations, as you know, last turn, which I called Hooker's lull, we only had 2 activations for the Union. That has changed. That one activation has come back up, so there's now 3 activations for the Union. I'll leave those a little bit of a mystery here. Second thing is that the Confederates did get the initiative for this turn. So we will actually have the Confederates going first with the first activation over here. And that will be Jackson, as you can see the chit over here on the side. So Jackson will continue his attack. But we will see how the Union responds with their 3 AMs. So with that, we'll get started. Oh, a couple other things here too to point out. We do have over here Union reinforcements that come on. This is Morell's troops from Porter's Corps. They'll be coming on up the road. They don't need an AM to come on. If they don't have an AM, they will come on at the end of the turn. I will give you a little bit of a preview on that. There is no AM put in for Porter, so they will come on towards the end of the turn. Second thing is that Richardson can now be used as one of the AMs, and I'll leave that as a kind of open whether he's going to be used or a second one used for Mansfield or Hooker up here. So with that, we'll start right out with the first activation, which is Jackson. Jackson will get started over here. On the left side with Jones. So let me zoom you in on the second camera here and get you set up so that you can see everything here. And I think we'll start off with Jones. Now his artillery will not be firing, I don't think. 3 artillery units here have no targets. He could fire at here, but there is close units, and it could hit Warren here, and I need to keep him in good shape. So these 2 can't. The only other one is the other Jones that was up here with Stewart. Because he's not stacked with a cavalry or infantry unit, he will be back under Jones's control here. And he, of course, because Jones is back here, he will be out of range because his range is only 1, 2, 3. He'll be out of range and out of command. So really not a big matter for artillery because artillery can't move closer. But he can actually take a shot, which he's going to do. So we'll take the first shot over here with the Jones's artillery. It'd be +2, and he's going to be firing at Phelps, guarding the flank over here. +2 on the dice roll. And for range, it'll be +0. And for terrain effects, it's going to be nothing. So it's just going to be a +2 on the dice. Let's see what we can get. Rolls a 0, it's nothing. So no hit on them there. So that's the artillery phase. Next, we'll get on to the movement phase. And in this case, I've kind of thought it out a little bit already. We're going to have Warren over here. He's going to shift into here. So we'll turn and go into there for 2. That will line him up for an attack, potential attack. Or excuse me, I didn't want to do that. Not there. He's actually going to move up here for a potential attack on these guys. And then Grigsby will come up here to help support that attack as well, which just leaves Stark, who is going to come down here for 2 points and wind up in there. Okay, and I'll show you how this is going to work out in a second. But first off, we have one attack, which is going to be this over here. It's going to be Penn, Grigsby, and Warren attacking these guys. So defensive fire first. Now there's going to be 2 hexes that they could shoot at, but they're only going to shoot at 1 because they've already got a -1 for being disordered. They'll get a +1 because they're in clear terrain if they fire at 1, which will bring them down to 0. But the key thing here is they're going to need a 7 or above. So any negative modifiers are really going to have a serious impact on them if they're going to try to stop them. But they figure they can shoot it over here. If they can stop them, then it's just this one factor, which he will most likely not be able to attack. So they're going to fire over here. So they need a 7 or higher. -1 for the disruption, +1 for the open ground. So it winds up being a 0. So they need a 7 or higher. Roll a 6. They don't get it, so the attack continues. So now looking at the odds, we've got a 4 and a 3. That's 7 + 1 is 8 against 9. So it's on the downside of the 1-to-1 column. And they are in woods, so it's actually going to be down to the 2-to-3. So it's going to be a -1 for strength. But with cohesion, they're going to get a +1. So that's going to push them back up to 0. And then defenders terrain, they're in the woods, so it's going to be -1 for the woods. Now they're on higher terrain, and they're on same level terrain, so that's only going to be that's not going to add anything to it. So it's actually going to be a 5 with a -1 on the dice. So this is going to be a tough one. Hopefully they can make it. They roll a 9. -1 is 8. They got him. Defender retreats, undergoes cohesion DR. So they've got to retreat. I think they will both go back into Doubleday's hex. Gibbon and him, like so. Now they've got to do the DRs. So we'll take the top one. They need a 5 or less. Roll a 6. So that means that they are withdrawn. They're actually going to the withdrawn box over here. Gibbon, oops, sorry about that. Gibbon is a 6. Rolls a 0, so he's okay. So we lost Hoffman's brigade, needing to reorganize over there. Okay, now this is getting serious on Doubleday's flank. He's lost 1, Meade's lost 1. So now the highest cohesion, which they're all the same. So we're actually going to move up Penn into there and change his facing like that. So that dislodges Doubleday a little bit from that side. So that is all for Jones's attack. Next is going to be Lawton over here. He's all these blues or kind of turquoise over here. So his artillery, I don't think can have any, doesn't have anything to shoot at, but I think it is going to now move up again. I'm just not sure where at the moment. Well, we'll figure that out here in a minute. So there's not going to be any artillery fire from them. There's going to be movement, of course. And let's see, everybody should be in command. They're in command, they're in command, command. Early over here, he is 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, he's out of command. Okay, so Early's out of command, but he's disordered anyway, so he's just going to recover. All right, so we're going to do some movement here. So we're just going to move him off here for a moment. So what we're going to try to do is go after Patrick up here. And I think what we're going to do is move up Hayes. I'll go up there for, let's see, 2 plus 1 is 3. Halved is 2. And then into there for 3. And then Early is going to come up 2 and go underneath him for 3. So they're going to attack Patrick up here. Let's see, they're going to stay put. They're going to stay put so they can rally. Now that just leaves Douglas and Walker back here, which I think I'm going to move Douglas up 1, 2, 3, and he'll move up to there as well. We want to advance them to try to push the line back as much as possible here. Now for Lawton's artillery, I think we want to move them up to here. Now that'll be blocking J.R. Jones, but that's okay. We'll move him the next turn. All right, there we go. So 1 attack here against here. So they'll be defensive firing. So they will be firing. They're in open ground, so it's going to be +1. They'll need a 8 or higher with a +1 on the dice. Yeah. 8 with a +1 on the dice. Here we go. They roll 8 plus 1 is 9. They actually got him. So Hayes is going to disrupt. So that attack failed. And stop there. Okay. So let's do some rallies. So let's go for Douglas A over here. He's a 5. Needs a 5 or higher. Rolls a 7. Doesn't get it. And then Early A over there is a 5, and he'll need 5 or higher. So he got it. So he's back in good shape. Back over here. Oh, I just noticed you didn't see those other Lawtons off the map, so I'm just going to move this slightly forward a little bit. There we go. You can see Lawton's moves and recoveries over there. Okay, next we've got artillery, and this will be all of Jackson's guns. So it'll be him. So he's not with his corps, so him and him over there. So I think he'll have to fire now. There's going to be a chance if he rolls a natural 2 or less that these guys will potentially get a cohesion test. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, range of 4. Should be a +0 on the range. It's a +2 for strength. And they're in the woods, but nothing for woods. So it's going to be a +2 on the dice roll. Roll a 0. Uh-oh, that's going to be friendly. That's a miss, first off. And then that's going to be, okay, so friendly fire on Stark over here. He's a 7 with a +2 on the dice, so he needs a 7 or less. Rolls an 8. Oh, friendly fire knocks out Stark. Not going well for the counterattack here for Jackson. He made progress, but slowed down a little bit. I mean, they did have success over here. They did reposition, but failures here, and this is now throwing that a little bit in doubt. Other Jackson's artillery will shoot. They'll shoot right there because they've got a close shot in right there. And Gordon. So that'll be a +3 for the strength, +1 for the range. So that's going to be +4. Terrain is open, so it's just going to be a +4. So you need a 9 higher, or +4. Roll a 0. That's a miss. So that's fired. And this is fired. This unit doesn't have anybody to shoot at, but he may move here in a second. This last one over here, which is kind of off camera, I'm going to switch you over to the big one, is over here on D.H. Hill's right flank. He's going to fire down here at Union Reserve batteries. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's long range, so it's +0. Strength +3. Nothing for terrain, so it's going to be, needs a 9 with a +3 on the dice. 3 + 4 is 7. That is a miss. So he is done. All right, let's switch back over to the other camera to now figure out what to do with this reserve unit that's sitting on Dunker Church. I think he's going to move forward. I think into there. Like a potential counter battery, and then he could move up into there as well. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. I think that's good. Oh, we do have one more back here. Quite a bit of logjam here. I think we'll leave him alone. So that will be all for the reserve artillery. Those off. All right, last one is D.H. Hill. So with them, we have Hill over here. I think he's got everybody in command. Yes, he does. And he's got a range of 5. Yep. Okay. Everybody's in range. The artillery, he's going to take a shot at Gordon again. He's a 1 strength at close range, 1 hex, so he's going to be a +1, so it's going to be +2. Nothing for the terrain, so he needs a 9, +2 on the dice. Rolls a 4. That is a miss. So the artillery's done there. Other artillery, we have these guys over here, which they're pretty devastating, and I think they want to try to go after these guys in the orchard. So 1, 2, 3, they're a short range. That'll be a +0, +4 on the dice. They're in orchard, which has no effect. So it's a +4 on the dice, a 9 with a +4 on the dice. 5 + 4 is 9, so that is a hit. They're going to have to suffer a cohesion test. Top unit is a 5. Rolls a 0. He is okay. Next one is the bottom unit. They're a 6. Roll a 9, so they actually disorder. Hearts off. Disorders. So Ricketts is having a tough time over here. I'm not sure how they're going to sort that out. But we'll leave that for the Union turn. So that's both of Hill's guns firing. Now, I think that's what we'll do, is I think the movement we're going to have, take the guns off here. McRae move back this way and go under, or go with Hood's guns, like so. And then we will have Rhodes come up and replace him in there. Now he could potentially attack. That would be interesting. He's a 4 against 5. That's going to be on the 3 to 2, so he's going to get a -1. We'll be going down, well, and it's open ground, so it actually rounds up to 1 to 1. And then cohesion is +2. Terrain is downhill, is +3. Oh, I think we'll take that attack. So he'll attack here. Yeah, I think that's going to be the only attack. These guys against here. So Gordon's going to try to fire back. He is, again, open ground, so it's +1, but he's disordered. So Rhodes If I can move him off for a minute. Rhodes is a 7, so I need 8 or higher. Open ground is +1, disorder is -1. So he needs an 8 or higher. Rolls a 9. Wow. Wow. So Rhodes' attack is stopped. Gordon is left right there, and that'll do it. So we've got some recoveries. We've got GB Anderson over here. He's a 5. On the left, rolls an 8. Doesn't get it. Next, we've got Ripley. He's also a 5. Rolls a 9. Oof. DH Hill is not getting the luck. So that ends DH Hill's attack for the turn, or for the activation. And that ends the activation for Jackson. So kind of a mixed bag at best. Not much other than pushing back Doubleday initially. Everything else kind of fizzled a bit. So next we have Sumner. Yeah, I told you he could come out, and that's what I put in there. Sumner actually is coming out for the attack. So his units are going to activate. This is going to be over here, and I think I'm going to put you on the big camera for this one. His units are over here in this general vicinity. And my thought here on this is that he can cross both at the middle bridge as well as this ford up by Newkirk and come in and now form yet a wider line against Hill and possibly pushing this way against Anderson as well, kind of extending the line and stretching things out here a little bit. So that's kind of going to be the way the attack is going to go. Now the question is who goes where. We've got several good units over here. I'm going to try to figure out what we got to do. First off, we've got Richardson over here. High quality, 7 cohesions. We've got French over here. Again, high cohesions, 7s, and a couple of 4s. So I take that back. Then we have Sedgwick over here, who's kind of bringing up the rear with some average troops. So really the one who's going to punch through is going to be Richardson, most likely. So I think what we'll try to do is position Richardson to go across Middle Bridge and position to attack here. Now he's got some guns up to the north that he's got to watch for, but hopefully we can position guns to attack him there. Then we will also have French, I think, will come down and try to extend the line from the 12th Corps over here, and then have Sedgwick provide backup to Richardson back here. I think that's how the attack's going to go. So let's see how we do. So that's all for Sedgwick. That gets him into striking position. Throw a little bit of a thought into the Confederate side. Next one. Hazes Artillery. So here we are. We're right on Hazes on this. So 3 of these are here, here, and here. Now this guy can't move and he's completely blocked. So with our artillery, I think they're going to target this artillery here, the short range guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Range of 5. He's going to be down 2 levels, so it's going to be plunging fire. So he's going to be a 4 as a strength. He's within range, so it's +0. He gets 1 for the plunging fire, and that's it. So it's going to be, needs a 9 with a +5 on the dice. Rolls a 2, doesn't make it. That just gets it to 7. Next one. Over here, He's going to fire at those guns up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Within range, it's going to be 0 for modifier. +3 for the strength. It's not going to be plunging fire. Actually, now that I look at it, it's actually uphill, yeah, it's going to be a -1. So it's actually only going to be a +2 on the dice. So it's 9 with a +2 on the dice. Rolls is 5 + 2 is 7. Doesn't make it. So both those guns are ineffective. Okay. So next one. I'm going to do probably about 6 chits for this first video. Next one's going to be Stewart's Cavalry. Okay. So Stewart's Cavalry is in 2 positions. One down here, just off the map, and I can move it down, and one up here, just above. There we go. Holding out on the side. So let's take this in 2 phases, because I think from an artillery perspective, there's not much to do here, and there's nothing to do down there. So it's going to go straight to the movement. So Jones was not part of them, so he's already fired, so he can't shoot with Stewart now. But what I will do is actually some repositioning here. Now that the counterattack's coming up, I'm going to reposition these units. So he's going to go 2, and over the stream is a +1, so it's 3, and then 4. You can fire up here, and he will go on to there. And actually I think he'll go 1, 2, 3, and into there for 4, so that the Jones now becomes part of Stewart again. And then he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to come up with Pelham. He'll remain where he is. Okay. Now let me tip you back so we can get a hold of Hampton and figure out what he's going to do. So Hampton's back here, coming up these back trails. His horse artillery is right back there. We have Mumford, who's going to stay right there as well. So he's going to come up and join Stewart. He needs to. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, using strategic movement, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They should be positioned about like that. Artillery back here is going to go 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's all they can go, because that's a stream across there, and it'll be 1. This one is 2, halved is 1. Oh no, they can actually get over, so that'd be, or no, 2, 3, yeah, that'd be 2. Yep, sorry. That would actually be 2 to enter, plus 1 for the stream is 3, halved rounded up is 2. So they're at 7, so they can't do it. Okay. And there's no recoveries for them. So we move on to our next chit. So we're up to 4. I'll do 2 more chits on this video. Longstreet. Alright, so we've got Longstreet moving up here. Now Longstreet will be everybody else over here. We've got Law, we've got Hood, McLaws, Jones, Anderson, and Walker. I think Walker will stay put. He's pretty solid down here. Anderson now sees a threat coming up here. He needs to help round this out. So let's start with Anderson, and the camera's already on him as well. So let's get him set up here. So we're going to, his artillery's back here, so there's no firing. So he's going to Anderson. Evans, who's right here as well. What's he gonna do? He's gonna stay put. I think his artillery though is gonna try to fire. Try to shoot at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's in range. +1 for strength. It's gonna be uphill though, so it's -1. So he needs a 9, basically. Ah, doesn't get it. Okay, so, and he's not moving, so they'll stay right there. So that's Anderson. Let's see what else we got. McLaws, Jones, and Hood over here. So let's go over getting you on the smaller camera and show you what that looks like. All right. So we've got Hood up here. He's positioned here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's out of range, so he can't. He's kind of stuck. Ooh, and he's not in good shape. He is in good shape. So he can't do much right now, which is not good, but I think we can support him a little bit. So I think what we'll do with Hood, his batteries really can't shoot at anything. Yeah, because he's back there and back there. So what we're going to do, he is actually going to take a step back and cover Dunker Church. Law B is actually going to slide over here like so. So we can provide some support. And then Hood's guns right here. I think we're going to stay put. He, though, is going to come up over here. So he's going to be in no rally, though. I just want to make a note of that. All right, so he can't move next to anybody. He really can't attack. He can't get out of there, so he's kind of stuck. So there's no attacks and no rallies. So that's all for Hood. Now we do have the artillery, reserve artillery for Longstreet. We've got one here, some back over there, but really not much in play here at the moment. We will have this firing later. That's about it. But I think what I want to do is try to get some more coverage because I don't like these guns by themselves up here. Attack here. We're going to start off with DR Jones here. And artillery is not in position to fire, so it's going to be movement and charges. So what we're going to do is actually have him move up for 1 to there. Wait. Sorry. We're going to have him move back here, sorry, for 1. He is going to move in with him for 1. Then we're going to move up Tombs 2, 3, 4. And then Ricketts is in the way, so that's good. Then we're going to have the artillery move up 1 to there. And then we're going to have 1, 2 to there, like so. Then he's going to come down here like that. Jones can stay back there, and we're all in command. So it's going to be 1 attack. It's just going to be against here. It's going to be a tough one because they're 6 against 9. But first, defensive fire. They need to roll at 8 or higher. They are on open ground, so it's a +1, but they're disordered, so it'd be -1. So they're going to need 8 or higher on a dice roll. Defensive fire, man, really knocking them out. So that's the end of that attack. Right there. Okay, that's all for Jones. So that leads us with McLaws, which I think he's just going to try to pull up the rest of his units. Now let me switch over. So you can see here, McLaws is kind of stretched out over here. Most of the units are up into a reserve position, but I'm just going to move up the rest of them because it is so clogged up here right now that his best thing is to just set up behind and be ready to move. So they're going to move over to there. They're going to do 1, 2, 3 to there. Artillery is going to come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to there. That gets McLaws up there, and then the last thing is the reserve artillery. Here he's okay. Here he's actually going to fire 1, 2, 3, 4 at Caldwell. 1, 2. Let's see, that'd be right down here. Oh, that's going to be blocking. He's got to fire over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's within range. He's a 4. It's a -1 on the dice. So because he's a short. +2 for strength is a +1. He's firing. He's not firing 2 levels below, so it's just going to be a +1 on the dice. 2 + 1 is 3. That's not going to do anything. Next, we have these guys back here, up on the hill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can fire at him. Range of 6. They're in range, so it's 0, so it's a +4. It's down 2 levels, so that's going to add 1, so it's going to be +5. So 9 with a +5 on the dice. Rolls an 8, that makes 13. Target suffers automatic disorder. So he's disordered. And he's fired. Next, moving along the line here, we have him, who is kind of stuck in there, and I think that's where we're gonna leave him. He says, or do we firm up the defenses over here? Actually, I think we're gonna move him to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stop there. I think he's going to come over into there when we're all said and done. Okay, so that's all for the reserve, and that's all of Longstreet. That's all the artillery. Okay. Next chit we're going to go with is going to be Mansfield. Okay, so this will be the last one for this video, but alright, so here we have Mansfield over here on the left side of Hooker. Now Ricketts is still in the way. Gordon is stretched out here in a tough situation because he can't really move. He's much like Law. So I think Williams needs to do something to get rid of Law out of here. Question is, what? Well, first Williams artillery fire at Law B. So that'll be 4 plus 0 on the dice. So he's a 9 with a +4. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's a miss. So he misses. Next artillery. He can do the same thing. He's going to fire across here at the same levels over those troops because they're below. So it's going to be a +3 on the dice. 9 with a +3. Rolls a 5. He doesn't get anything. And the last one is over here. He's moving. So that's it for the artillery. Not real great. I think he will move one into there, turn and go under him here. Like that. Okay. And then the other one is just going to stay there. Okay, so the attack is going to be this. These guys against them. So he can either fire at 1 or 2. I think he's going to go for 1, because that will, no, they won't get anything for that. So it'll just be a straight 7 or higher for them. So I think they'll still defensive fire over there. So they'll need a 7 or higher to knock out Crawford A. Roll a 9, that knocks them out. So they're disordered. Alright, so they can't attack. So now it becomes this again. Oh, this is not going to be good. So it's 3 against 3. Strength is 0s. So it's a 1-to-1. Cohesion differential, though, is a 4 to 7. It's a -3. And the terrain is open, so there's nothing there. So it's going to be, needs to roll a 5 or higher with a -3 on the dice. Rolls an 8. Oh, jeez, talk about these odd rolls. That goes down to 5, so they have to retreat. And they can go into here, and they will assume the same facing as the other law unit there. Now they do need to do a cohesion test. Roll a 1, so they're okay. So now he will actually advance up into there. And that will be it. Now he can't recover because he's within there. So that'll be it for Williams. Now Green is facing a dilemma. He wants to attack across here, but that's a tough attack, and Ricketts is in the way. Alright, I think they're going to try to go for the guns. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3. They're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, whoop, they've got to stop there, don't they? Ah, okay. That's alright. 6, right? Oh, they could potentially attack there. Okay. And 2, 3. He needs to recover. And he's not part of them. And then this artillery will go 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7 across there. So with this, and then Green's gonna move up a little bit like that. Alright, so he will be eligible to rally. These guys are going after the guns. These guys are going after this. So let's take the guns first. So the guns will be able to fire, or try to do their defensive fire. They'll need a 7 or higher. They're in open ground, so it's a +1. Artillery using defensive fire, only 1 target. That's them, so it's +2. So that makes +3. And they're not stacked with anybody, so it's going to be, he needs a 9 with a +3 on the dice. Rolls a 1, so they miss. Okay, so those guns are captured. It's not automatic capture. They move up. They're destroyed. That's key for the Union, which is now going to force Hill to do something over here. Okay. So now we have this one over here. So we've got these guys shooting across. They'll need a 7, +1 for upper ground, but -1 for disordered. So just a 7 or higher. Roll a 2, which is a miss. So now these guys are 3 + 3 is 6, 4 + 2 is 6. All right, so it's even odds, so there's no pluses there. Everybody's 6, so there's no differential on the cohesion. They are up a higher level, though, aren't they? Yes, they are. So up 1 level is -1. Going through hexide. Front. No, okay. So they need a 5 with a +1 on the dice. They roll a 1. So that goes to 0. Attacker is automatically disordered. These guys are disordered. And then undergoes cohesion check. And if it fails, must retreat. So the top one needs a 5. Rolls a 3. Next one rolls a 1. So they're okay. They just need to stay put right there. So their attack fails. All right. So the last thing to do is this guy back here is disordered. 3 or less to recover. Rolls a 3. So there we have it. They're back in good shape. So mixed attack there. They took the guns, which is probably the best thing they could have got. These guys couldn't get them dislodged, and that's where we are. Okay. So with Jackson's continued counterattack, his is kind of petered out, but from the Union side, Sumner has started to advance across the river, and he started to attack across the river up here. Tip you up. And he's pushing forward. A little bit disorder here on this guy. Mansfield is making some progress over here. He's relieved a little bit of pressure on Gordon's attack. They do have something pushing over here. Although Meade and Doubleday are kind of stuck over here with some losses that they've got to try to get back in good order with. So with that, I'll leave you the first half of Turn 4, Antietam 160th playthrough with the Glory 3 system.